We are live. So here's what I did with the camera, so don't mess with it. I purposely had it the way I did. I don't know if you messed with it already. But we had talked about having it so you can just paint a little bit more freely. I feel like that kind of lets you do that. You don't have to hold it up super close. They can see it.
It feels like it's unfocused.
Well, that's because I can set autofocus on. But I wouldn't worry about all that, really. And it doesn't matter. If you move your hand, it's going to unfocus again. It won't matter. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I would just do your thing. They can see what you're doing. And then if they want detail, we can set it so if you hold it closer just to show them more detail, they can see it. You know what I mean? So if I do that, see what I mean? Would that be cool, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
There. We'll do it like that then. So then you just paint, and then every once in a while, we'll just bring it closer to the camera, and everyone can see.
Okay.
Okay? Because it's about us being comfortable, you being comfortable.
This looks way
First.
better than I thought it did.
Yeah, everyone loved it. Everyone loved it online.
Yeah, I feel like it was looking questionable.
So,
It always looks way better when I come back to it.
welcome to Master the... What? I was just going to do my quick intro since people
Okay.
who are tuning in.
Intro.
Welcome to Master the Game. I'm Juce. This is Paula. A lot of exciting things going on around here. We just launched a store, which if you go to rpgjuice.com and you click the store link, you can look at Paula's merch. It's called Awkwardly Nerdy. We've got multiple Master the Game logo designs. My other one where it's just the D20 and says Master the Game on it. We have my circle logo design. We have the Awkwardly Nerdy circle logo design over there. And we have the brand new Awkwardly Nerdy retro neon design. So you can get stickers, you can get, t-shirts, all sorts of really cool stuff. Tote bags, coffee mugs, just some fun stuff if you're interested in supporting the channel. And, as well as you can still go and join our Patreon and get some of the perks there. We finally were able to, we were having some difficulties setting up the Discord with the Patreon, but we got that sorted out. So now if you are a patron, even at the $1 level, you have access to a private Discord channel where just patrons can talk amongst themselves. We've already started setting up a game for Tyranny of Dragons. First, if you're a patron, you get first dibs. We have one more additional slot, I believe. Maybe two. I'll have to double check that. But I believe we only have one more space for players. I'll pull it up in a sec. So we're pretty excited about that. Tyranny of Dragons is a game that I have run before. And we had actually our patron Roll Stats, who's in the chat right this moment. He actually bought the special edition cover for us. So we decided we're going to run it and offer it up to the patrons first and then the Discord members. So that's pretty exciting as well. Lots of cool stuff. And, hopefully in the coming months, if things are going really well, might be looking to bring on a paid blog writer for the website to get some more into the website, getting people, checking that out a little more and giving you guys some regular content there. So with that, Paula gave me a look about the paid writer thing because I haven't talked to her about that yet.
I know. He's over here giving me this weird look.
I didn't give you gave me a weird look. So yes, hopefully you guys like this new camera angle. Obviously this is more for us. And then if, every now and then she'll hold it up a little closer for you.
Basically, just tell us if you hate it.
Yeah, let us know if you hate the camera angle.
That's pretty much
we know it's not going to be completely in focus when she's painting. We get all that. But we're also going to be working on, here soon, both of us mini painting. So it'll be more like this, and then we'll just be able to hold the camera up, or what we're painting up for both of you. So Chance's guide says, sup, brav. So you beat Cameron again. Cameron is not first again.
Oh, that's twice in
He's
a
not here right
row. Cameron, oh my gosh.
But I also haven't shared the link around. Roll Stats, it looks amazing. Are you talking about the table or the merchandise? Chance says, looks great. But it probably needs another 37 shades of pine. Oh my gosh, Roll Stats. Or some shimmer, right? Looks hot. I imagine that in like the Paris Hilton voice with how you spelled hot. So I'm gonna share.
Was that your Paris Hilton voice? That's
So
exactly
hot.
what it talks.
I don't know. I can't talk like
sounds
that.
like.
I can't talk like Paris Hilton. I don't know. It is what it is.
You're not good at female voices.
Neither is Paris Hilton. That's so hot. I don't know. I feel like some people just overemphasize it and it sounds weird when they're trying to talk like a woman. Like they purposely talk like this. Like when we played Rad Wasteland and Roll Stats was playing a woman the whole time. He totally emphasized the woman's voice a little bit. Or a little bit more. It was better than my women's voice. So
what?
When we played Rad Wasteland last time. We've played this game before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that why you were like, I'm going to add you to this chat? And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And like, it sounded like everybody else knew what was going on.
So
and
this
I'm
is
like
a
in the
game-
middle of like meetings and stuff like that. Like, y'all are talking.
So this is a game that he was working on for like 2 years. The problem is he was using the Genesis system, like verbatim, like no difference between the dice rolls. So I was like, dude, I don't think that's open source. He's like, I think it is an OGL thing. And I was like, no, I don't think it's its own thing. So then we looked into it. It wasn't. So in order to protect him, I was like, dude, you got to come up with your own mechanics. You just have to.
I need some new paper towel.
All right. So I said, you have to do your own thing. You have to like come up with your own rules, whatever you can do. And so then I threw out some ideas with them and we came up with some stuff. We also changed the dice. So like in Fantasy Flight games, they are specific sides, right? Like one's a D8 or whatever. So we changed that too. So they aren't the same, just with different pictures.
Okay,
right?
so he changes that.
Yep. So we worked on all that stuff. I've proofread through what he's written. He's got like 100 and some odd pages written, all this cool stuff. Anyways, he started rewriting classes because again, it was very heavily based on Fantasy Flight Star Wars, right? Which is fine. It's a great game. And when we played it originally, it was a lot of fun. So he's been working on it, but I think he's hit a roadblock in his.
Can you move this to the other one?
Yeah, just a minute. So just start painting. Don't worry about it. What are you trying to do? So he ended up. We have this. I'm basically his accountability partner at this point, like a project manager. I follow up with him and I say, "Hey, where does this stand right now?"
You know what? I think like you offended Roll Stats.
Why?
I'm just letting you know. Like
She was great. I loved her.
He was trying so hard.
I said he did it way better than I ever could.
Oh, okay.
I didn't offend him.
I thought you.
I loved
said
her
it was
voice.
Terrible.
No, he's joking. He's pretending to be a snowflake.
Oh.
He's good though. We're all good. So, by the way, when people call people snowflakes, it's really annoying to me. So, I just wanted to get that out there. I don't care, like, politically where you stand. Anyone who complains is a snowflake. I don't care if you're red or blue. If you're whining about something, you are a snowflake.
You're terrible.
But anyways, it just so happens that, yeah. Anyways, I'm not getting into all that. Not tonight. So we, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh, so Rad Wasteland. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it changed. I'll be honest. So when I proofread stuff, I wasn't like checking mechanics or seeing how things changed. I was mostly looking for like repetitive word usage and like things like that. Long run-on sentences when I was proofreading it for the most part. Now there's some lore stuff I read that I don't remember now. But I remember at the time, and some of the equipment stuff I was looking at. So you said snowflake, not me. So and there was some cool stuff that he was adding. Sorry, I'm sharing the link around at the moment. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on, so I'm excited to try that out. Tactical Tokens is sending some stuff that I will be using for some of my Pathfinder videos, since you want to be able to show miniature placement, and his tokens are perfect for that. I'm going to have a video that I'm going to work on for that, such as like flanking and, you know, how some other things work in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm really excited about that. Gosh, we've got so much stuff going on. So this Friday, I've got Mike from Unmade Gaming on. This Saturday, I'm actually available, so maybe we can do the Session 0 this Saturday for Rad Wasteland.
Oh, I was going to say, what game are we playing this Saturday? But
None.
it's a holiday weekend. That's probably why we're not playing a game this Saturday.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, that was probably on purpose.
I think I did leave it open because I didn't know if like there were going to be fireworks, and I didn't feel like, trying to figure all that stuff out with people.
So last year, there weren't a lot of fireworks here, though. Remember? Because we were really surprised.
We went to Manchester, didn't we?
No.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Did I take the kids by myself?
No, you talked about it, but then we didn't end up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I took the kids by myself.
I don't think so.
I think I did. Because you were excited to be home by yourself. With just Gabe.
You would have left Gabe.
Yeah, with just Gabe.
Yeah, but it wasn't loud here at all. Like, it was just a regular night.
Yeah.
Which we were sort of surprised about because we live, like, out in the country.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so,
yeah.
Like,
very
it's
small
like
town.
Country city.
It's 3,000 people. It's a town. We're right outside of Grand Rapids.
But we're outside of a big city. But it is, like...
Yeah, we're like 5 minutes out.
It's kind of country, though. Like,
Well, yeah.
in, like, there's a lot of, like, rednecks.
In Saline, you had people that would light off fireworks in town. In Lowell, you have enough farms that I think people go out into the country to, like, their friend's house and blow shit up.
Yeah, like, that's what it is. It's the place where you stack, like, 20 skids on top of each other and light it on fire with gasoline.
And then throw fireworks into the fire.
Yeah, it's more that vibe versus, like, the neighborhood went together.
But Saline had that, too.
Fireworks.
Don't get me wrong. Like, when I started going to Saline, we had tractor day. And the only reason it ever stopped is because a girl fell off while the tractor was going and cracked her skull open.
Oh, that seems awesome.
Yeah. I mean, she was fine, but she had to go to the hospital because she cracked her skull. And so they ended tractor day.
Okay, so we're going to have to glue these together.
Yeah.
I need some glue or something.
I have no idea where the super glue is. So we'll have to do that later. Not right now.
But then they can't see it finished.
They'll see it finished.
Together.
We'll put it... Here's an incentive. All of you people in the chat who are not in my Discord, if you want to see the finished copy, you're going to have to go to Discord, and we will have this table glued together shortly after we go off stream tonight, and it'll be up in the Discord.
Oh, now you're making promises.
Uh-huh. And here's another incentive. If you are a patron, at least $1 or more, I will post it on the Patreon for patrons only first. A whopping 5 minutes before that. So there you go. I'm sure it'll hit Instagram. I'll put it up there. I'll put it some other places. There we go. I think we shared it. Well, I've shared it around to whatchamacallit, to my main things. I haven't shared it in any groups yet. So let's just go do that real quick. So how are you doing, Roll Stats? Valerie winks at Juice and says, I do believe that you are jealous, Mr. Juice. It's okay, sugar. You'll do accents one day. I don't think I will. I
don't know
it's
that
so
I
distracting
have
for me.
enough. Ow! I just hit the table. I don't know that I have enough self-confidence to do my accents. Like, I'm already worried about playing enough as is on camera.
Nobody's
in front
judging.
of people, let alone trying to do some sort of like accent at the same time.
So the question from Chance: how excited are you for the Advanced Player's Guide? So I'll admit, there's not a ton. So I am excited about it. I'm excited about seeing all the different features that they're going to have. I'm holding off on pre-ordering it. Right now it's, I think, $45 on Amazon. I'm wondering if that price is going to drop another $5 or $10. But I'm very interested in certain things in it. The Oracle and the Inquisitor, I think, are the two classes I'm interested in. I don't remember what the other two are right now off the top of my head, but I don't think I was that interested in them. I kind of wish they had the Gunslinger in it, even though I've never had a Pathfinder game with a Gunslinger in it. But yeah, and then I can't remember.
Oh my god, you know what's so nice?
What?
About painting a table?
What?
It doesn't have eyes.
Neither does the throne that you're going to paint.
I'm kind of excited about that aspect.
Yeah?
Probably
Terrain's awesome. Terrain's really easy, too. Like, it's far easier than painting characters. Because it's like, imperfections are normal in nature. Like nothing is 100% perfect. You know what I mean? Like if you look at a rock, it's so many different colors, right? Like you look at a rock and you're like, at first you're like, oh, it's a gray rock. No, it's got like browns and grays and greens and white in it. Like
I know. That's why when you're like, I'm just going to paint it brown, I'm like, but it's not really just brown.
Right.
Or you're like, I'm going to paint it black, and
right.
then I'm going to add some brown to it. And it's like, well, it's not really brown
well,
and black.
No.
Like, you need to add, like, green.
I get that. Yeah, you add stuff after. I get that. I'm not saying you don't. But in the end, when someone looks at it, they're like, oh, it's a nice brown table. They're not going to be like, oh, it's a nice brown, green, blue, blah, blah, whatever table. You know what I'm saying? Perfect. There's no judgment, Paula. Play and let play. Exactly. Chance. Not going to lie, I'm probably just going to rip a PDF from online. It's a mimic table. There's some cool... So these are Zealot Miniatures. They have a mimic fireplace, I think, on their site. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So, maybe we'll get that one day, too. I was actually thinking of...
What?
A mimic fireplace.
A mimic fireplace.
It's pretty absurd.
So it's just like a regular looking fireplace.
It doesn't even look like a fireplace because it's so warped into the mimic aspect.
Oh, okay. So it's clear. It's not like you put down a fireplace and then there's a mimic fireplace.
They have a fireplace too.
It with.
They have a fireplace too, but you would probably put the fireplace on your dungeon first, and then when the players get to it, then you just switch it out with the mimic one. That's what I would do. I mean, you're not going to put the mimic out there and be like, oh, here you go. It's like when I do the mimic treasure chest. I don't put the mimic chest out there.
I know. Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I thought. And then you made it sound different than that. And so, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I don't have time to research this stuff.
So, yes, we have one more spot for our Tyranny of Dragons game. And that'll be a monthly game. That again we're offering to patrons first. I need to double check to see if Tactical Tokens is interested. If he's interested, he's in. If he's not, we're gonna open it up if we don't have another patron that's interested. Yeah, it's kind of been a crazy couple weeks though. Here in Michigan, it looks like the bars are shutting down to inside service starting tonight because of our number of cases we're having. I have a feeling in the next handful of days, restaurants are going to follow suit based on a state order, I bet.
Yeah, we've already had some restaurants that have voluntarily closed because they've been reporting cases and stuff like that. So
we also have heard of some restaurants that are not reporting cases and are purposely trying to cover it up. But whatevs. Chance says, at roll stats fair. Although I feel like $15 for a PDF is a little much. Yeah, I just don't read PDFs. So even if I had it on PDF, I wouldn't use it.
I think it depends on what it is, on whether $15 for a PDF is too much.
Yeah.
I mean, because it depends on how long
I think it's too much because I won't use it.
If it's, like a couple pages or something, maybe that is a little bit too much. But if it's really long, if it's good, if it's quality, it's, then it's worth it, right?
I suppose. But I won't read it if it's long.
Yeah, we're not talking about you. We're talking about Chance.
I know, but I'm saying I won't read it. So.
Maybe he likes PDFs because a lot of people like
He likes
PDFs.
them because they're free, he said. That's what he said further up.
Okay, so what do we need? We need a little bit of orange.
Yeah, see, and he said, that being said, it'll be a couple months before I get around to it. I think it'll be a good book. I've been debating getting the Lost Omens Player's Guide, though. Instead. Because they've got, like, the Leshies and some other stuff in there that I think is interesting. Oh, the backgrounds I'm kind of interested in seeing as well. It'll be interesting. But yeah. So we're going to have another D&D game streamed once a month. And I think that fills me up every Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I think you were saying.
Because we have BlackRock, we have Descent, we have that. What else do we got? We have one more, don't we?
We have Did we talk about it?
We have a Pathfinder one shot.
Yeah.
That's not this Saturday, that's next Saturday. We were planning a Pathfinder campaign.
And a Call of Cthulhu?
No,
game?
There's no Call of Cthulhu.
I think there's a Call of Cthulhu.
I mean, Roll
game.
Stats wants to run one eventually.
I thought that's what you said.
Have we started a chat for that?
So Chan says that he's up in Canada and they've been under lockdown for coming up on 6 months. It's getting a little silly. I can't help but feel like there's a lot of weirdness going on behind the scenes. So
most of my friends in Canada.
So we kind of in Michigan, we sort of shut down in April.
No, it was March. Like March 20th or something. March 23rd.
They started locking things down, but it wasn't really like grocery stores,
grocery stores.
Like essential only businesses.
Right.
That was like the middle of April, and that lasted maybe like 4 weeks before they started lifting that.
Kind of. Not really.
Yeah,
Certain things.
It was mid.
They didn't lift anything. It's just people got mad that they couldn't take their boats on the lake. So they said, okay, fine, take your damn boats out. Like, Michigan did, like, weird stuff like that. Oh, you want to go buy garden supplies? Okay. Like, from big box stores. It's not enough to go to your local nurseries. You have to go to a big box store. Fine, we'll lift that.
Yeah, so then they started lifting things, and so they've kind of we've been almost, like, completely open.
For only a month. It was late May.
When they started lifting things.
No, when they officially said, hey, here's our phase plan.
Oh, that was
basically, anyone can be open now. But...
they still had
try to wear masks. Try to do this. And then people just were like,
had a ban
oh,
on
wait,
gatherings
we're free. Let's go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said companies had to supply masks, and nobody does that. And so it's like nobody's following any rules. Like, nothing's enforced. And even if you report a business for not following rules, nobody cares. So it's sort of like the opposite end. I think you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, almost. Because it's like...
No, I feel like if America did what Canada did, we would be seeing the end of it now.
Yeah, we don't have, like, a social structure in place, though, like other countries do.
I know. This is an RPG channel. Let's get off of this
I'm
crap.
sorry, guys. I'm, like, really... sometimes I get really into, like, political stuff. Don't mind me. Okay, so here's, like, I feel like the last thing I need to do.
Okay.
Or last questions. One, should I make the books brighter colors?
Sure.
Or are they good, but they're kind of, like, dark like that? I don't know if you can
They
say
don't
that
look
well.
dark.
If they're too
The
dark?
top one's dark. The very top one's black. Right?
Yeah, I could change
Do that like green. It's on top of red. It would be great.
Maybe.
But I like it.
Okay, so then I also need to figure out what color the big book is here, because you can just barely see the edge.
You saved the hardest part for last.
It's like the eyes. Why wouldn't I save it for the end? Because I don't know what to do. So of course I'm going to save it for the end.
I don't know.
I think I'm going to make that top book silver.
Silver. Okay.
No? Should I make it pink?
No, I was thinking green. Because it's on top of red.
Thinking green. I don't care about what you were thinking.
Then why are you asking me?
I'm
don't
not
ask me.
I'm not asking you.
You said, should I do pink then? Huh?
I'm asking you zero questions. I'm asking the smart people in the chat to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're awfully quiet now, I noticed. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the backup.
This is store. Screen share. And this will be window capture.
Should I do?
I'm going to show you guys the store while she thinks about stuff. So let me get that set up for you real quick. Because I'm pretty proud of this thing. I don't know, she's texting someone. There we go, perfect. Boop. All right, let's turn off studio mode. All right, boom. We will transform this bad boy and fit to screen. There we go. All right, so here's the store. You can see we've got all sorts of cool stuff. Looks like we have a lot of men in the chat tonight, so let's just show you the men's shirts that we got going on here. And I'll show you the other stuff as well in case you want to buy your honeys something a little nice to wear, you know, like a nice little tank top or something. I don't know. So here's the shirts. They come in a variety of colors. So let's look at this awkwardly nerdy one that I'm going to need to tweak because I don't think we want to see this army green version. So let's go into this one. We'll change this one later for you. But you can get it on black. You can get it on blue, which I like. I personally like that one. I think green looks really nice. Look at that. Roll stats. That one will look great on you. Chance, I think you're more of a gray guy if I had to guess. You know, so we got that. And then BN Drake, you're pretty clean, you know, so let's go with white for you. And then there's purple. Purple, I think Paula liked purple, so we went with purple on here too.
Who doesn't like purple? Everybody likes purple.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a great color.
I'm cool with it. So let's go back. We've got some other wonderful stuff. Oh, actually, so if you go into that, so this store, this item is set up by the logo. If you want to see other items with that logo, you can click on like tank tops. You can click on coffee mugs. Coffee mugs come in a variety of colors as well. Dude, yeah, the fanny pack. So I'm glad you pointed that out. So Roll Stats told me that I was crazy, basically, for the fanny pack. So the fanny pack is what's up. Also, cell phone covers. So there you go if you need to get a nice little cell phone cover. But yeah, we got fanny packs, hoodies, tote bags. Yeah, fanny pack is where it's at. I'm loving this. Again, I don't know why anybody would not love the fanny pack. And it can be yours for the low, low price of $24.99. And you, too, can carry around your spare change.
What other colors does it come in?
The fanny pack?
Blue?
No. I believe I offer quite a few colors. So here we go. We got purple.
Oh, actually, it looks pretty good in purple.
See? That'd be perfect for you.
Great.
I could see you wearing the leggings right over here with that and then the tank top. And you would be all set to go do your yoga or your exercise, your run. No, BN Drake, I have not actually, I don't think, to be honest. There's the one that matches my color. It's
now
right
I'm
there.
really curious though. If you feel like sending us a link to one of your videos.
Oh, I can pull it up after. There's some gray.
I'd love to watch it.
I think the gray is cool if you like a more, more subtle fanny pack. Black, the more traditional. And then this blue. I actually don't think I'm feeling this blue. I shouldn't have made that an option. But now that it is,
I was
can't get rid of it.
going to say, I really like it.
You like that? More than that?
I like the other one better.
Oh, on the TV it looks a lot brighter than on my laptop.
Rollstat says, I ordered everything except the fanny pack.
You did not order a tote bag. Wait. Everything? You got these bad boys?
Yeah, he wants
Dude,
a picture of those.
If you got these, will you please, I beg of you, take a picture or a video and send it to me? I need it for the commercial I'm making. I'm just kidding. But yeah, the hoodies are pretty nice too. So we got the premium, which is like a softer, and then the classic, which is a little bit rougher, probably a little more baggy.
Like those premium snaps.
The premium snaps. Well, we got premium products over here. So blue, gray. I really like the gray. And look, I totally should get Paula this for the winter. I think that would be cool. Get her rocking that one.
You realize I only have like one pink shirt.
Yep.
I have two. I actually have two, and only one of them is because it's Frida Kahlo. Like, who doesn't love her?
The stickers are cool. The die cut stickers. I'm a big fan of those too. So yeah. Anyways, you got a regular sticker that just says awkwardly nerdy if you want to put it on your laptop or your whatevers. Whatever you have to put stickers on. So
Whatever you sticker.
we're going to have some non-brand specific stuff coming out soon, such as the Play and Let Play shirt. Probably going to make a sticker of that as well. But it's just going to be probably a shirt, a hoodie, and a sticker. Shirt, hoodie, sticker. And we'll probably do some other cool stuff as well. I've got ideas. I've written down probably like 20 different like just RPG ideas that I now need to work on. But just setting these up it took some time to do. But I like it. I'm excited about it.
Plus, he doesn't like it if I have too many opinions.
You're going to rip the sleeves? Dude, do it. I would love it. I should Photoshop the Bill Belichick in one of my hoodies. That would be great.
I don't know what that means.
Bill Belichick is the New England Patriots football coach. Hello. All right, that should work. Gosh, what was the last thing you guys heard? You missed probably some of my products. That's okay.
They're going to survive. They're all going to survive. We'll continue on. There was a question for you. Kind of random, but have you ever given any thought to becoming a digital nomad?
What's that mean?
I have no idea. What's a digital nomad? I assumed you knew something that I don't know.
Yeah, what's a digital nomad?
So, you know how the guy who's sort of like in charge of our whole BI department at work and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
So he said the other day, because we've now figured out that that we have enough people in our BI department that play D&D that we could start a whole group.
Oh, jeez.
And he said that the only reason he hasn't played D&D before is because based on what he's heard from other people, it would consume his soul because it sounds so wonderful. This came up because I was on a conference call and one of our web design guys was there, and behind him is just this just tons and tons of framed comics in large display cases.
Gotcha.
It was beautiful.
I would do that 100% if I didn't have kids. I think also if I wasn't married.
Oh, did you look it up?
No, he just said. It's those people who go and live in tropical places and stuff, or and they live in a resort with other people like them, and they have a blog or whatever.
We could do that. We could do that.
Yeah, we could do that if we didn't have kids. I'd probably do it differently than Paula though too.
That's also true.
She would be totally fine just backpacking and with having no running water and living off the land, so she could be completely poor. Me, I have to have certain comforts. So it still wouldn't. I would have a higher cost of living. But yeah, no, I would totally do that. Technically, I mean, we talked about doing something like that a couple years ago. We actually looked into pricing out a RV, and we were considering living out of an RV and just traveling, even with kids, just homeschooling. Because we thought that would have been the coolest experience ever for the kids, because they get to see the country, they get to do fun stuff, go swimming in a hot spring one day, and then the next day go on a hike into some mountains, and we thought that would have been kind of cool. So we did look into that 4 years ago. So I do have a couple other shirts that I'm pretty proud of. So one of them Paula came up with 5 years ago, and I did sell a couple when I had my old store, and that was Got Juice, kind of like the old Got Milk ads. And then one that I came up with the other day that I like was I came here to eat pizza and roll some dice, and we are all out of pizza. It's that chew bubblegum and kick ass line. But I'm all out of bubblegum. Anyways.
I don't know that line.
It's a Roddy Piper thing from the 80s. A lot of people know it, though. It's from a movie.
A lot of people know it, just not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cool enough.
But we plan on having a couple mini painting shirts. So, one that Roll Stats actually inspired. It's She Paints, I Pretend. Another one that Roll Stats kind of came up with is, it's a quote, "Are we really debating the colors of wood? Juice." And then that seems oddly specific. Paula. Cameron is always first. Everyone. And then Undead Zombie Ranger Paladin thing. And then we were going to put a picture of my mini. The face and shoulders. Like a profile pic above it. It was going to be the crappy miniature that I did. And then underneath it, it's going to say Undead Zombie Ranger Paladin thing. That's going to be the shirt.
That sounds awful.
I know. It was going to be great. Yeah, so there's some other ideas too. I also, if things go really well, I'd like to commission an artist to come up to do some monsters and make some monster shirts as well, like D&D and Pathfinder monsters. But it wouldn't have the name of the monsters or anything. Because certain things are copyrighted and trademarked and all that stuff.
So that game that...
Rad Wasteland.
No, not that game. The other game that we made characters for. We made Druid.
Pathfinder?
No, the other game.
What other game?
Druid. The 5th edition game.
The Tyranny of
Dragons game.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can have a magic item for that game. We're starting with a magic item.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a suggestion for me? I was looking through the book, and there was
Cure wounds.
Oh, screw you with all that.
I don't know. Someone took gaseous form or something like that.
Yeah, but then the other one was a chest of...
Potion of fire giant strength or something. What? The consumables. They're good.
Yeah, but
do the cape of billowing out of Xanathar's Guide. You could just have a cape that billows all the time. It's like, look at me. My to-do list is getting crazy. Oh, so
You're not helping.
So
I thought you would have like good suggestions for like, here's what you could do.
I'm gonna play with the layout of this room.
Cool things
in the next week or two when I'm feeling better.
You do that.
I'm gonna move the couch and the table. I'm gonna see if I like it a certain way a little better. There's gonna be some changes. I'm ready for some changes out here. Some things that I think will make it work better.
Decanter of endless water. So it has to be a common item.
So here's the thing. It can be anything.
Which is no magic.
Common if it's permanent. Items. Common if it's permanent.
Which I couldn't find any.
Okay. Anyways, so maybe there's not. So then that rules that out. I'd have to look at D&D Beyond. I wouldn't use the Game Master Guide. There's stuff from modules and things like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's not a single one.
All right, she's challenging me to pull this up.
There's not a single one.
Not true.
So what's the chest of preserving? Because I tried to look that up and I couldn't find it. Because
it's off of D&D Beyond. I'm telling you that's what it's from.
Fine.
So if I go to rarity and I go common, and now I filter magic items, so it's just common. I've got an arm blade, armor of gleaming, band of loyalty, bead of nourishment, bead of refreshment, boots of false tracks.
Okay, so tell me what the chest of
breathing
preserving
bubble.
Does. Look at the chest of preserving. Tell me what that does.
Hang on. Chest of preserving. It's a wondrous item. Food and other perishable items do not age or decay while inside it. Chest is 2.5 feet long, 1.5 feet wide, and 1 foot tall with a half barrel lid. It weighs 25 pounds. Nothing goes bad in it. It's exactly what it says by preserving. It's like a fridge minus the cold. But there's a ton of stuff. Like, I'm still in the D's. There's like 5+ pages. So if you want a common item that's permanent, I would go through that. Like I told you the other night when you didn't want to listen. Don't want to listen.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
But if you do one that's not permanent, there's some really cool potions that you can do for any of it.
A big fan. I always feel like I never end up using the potion. Wait, so we got an item and a potion?
No, one or the other.
So he grabbed both.
Oh, yeah, so Chance, you messed up. You got to do one or the other. You got to choose. You can't have both. So the idea was you either get a common permanent item or you can have a potion, whatever potion you want. Like, I'm not even going to restrict it. But basically, it's a one-time use thing of any level.
Okay, so if anybody has any suggestions...
Potion of giant size.
For druid, you know...
Potion of giant size is pretty bad.
Just let me know.
Pretty bad. It's a 24-hour thing. So yeah, you could do some damage with stuff like that.
I'm a halfling.
Right. Now if you become a giant size and it triples your damage and you got it for like 3 or for a full day, that's a big deal.
Okay, guys. I think we might be done with it.
He just got rid of the potion. Yeah, no worries. No worries.
I mean, man, I don't even know what I'm doing, and, like, I live with him, so, like, I just listen to him talk about stuff all the time.
The problem is she fights me. She's like my kids that pick fights with each other just because. Because I was like, go on D&D Beyond. You'll have a much easier time finding common items, because under rarity, all you got to do is select common, and it shows you everything. Anyways, she was like... No, where's the DM's guide? I was like, okay.
I'm just like, I like looking at it in books. I don't want to look at it online.
I totally like looking in books too.
PDFs
but when you're talking about 30 books.
So, like, I just rather look online.
When you're talking about a magic item, it's easier to go online. When you're talking about sitting there reading for like an hour, give me a book.
Whatever. Okay, so I think I'm gonna call it quits on this table.
Yeah, I think you're
I think it looks
done.
really dark on camera, but it looks way brighter in person.
I agree. It's because of the lighting.
So do we get to pick a wondrous item or a common item?
If it's permanent, it's common. No question about it. If it's a whatever, Wondrous item isn't the rarity though. So
A wondrous
rarity
item is like an enchanted item.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, it
it's
can
an
be
item
wondrous
that's
if
been
it's common.
enchanted.
You can have a wondrous common item. I don't care.
It goes common, uncommon, rare, very rare,
and legendary.
Yeah, legendary. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the you know, hierarchy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it good on this. So, you know, put together.
Yeah, I'll glue it later.
It might look something like, oh.
We'll find the glue after the stream. It shouldn't stick in there.
No, I know. It's not going to. That's the problem. Looks kind of like that.
Yeah, it'll be cool when it's done.
Should look neat. I mean, the end kind of looked like a smudge, so that's on purpose. Just would like to note that. It's supposed to look like a smudge.
Nobody even noticed.
No, the whole book, you can notice. It looks like a smudge at the end.
Oh, okay.
So, it's supposed to look like a smudge.
Gotcha.
I'm just noting that because it was on purpose.
So with Tyranny of Dragons, since you brought it up, do we want me to port that into my homebrew world too? Or do you want me to try and run it just Forgotten Realms right out the book?
Oh, man, you can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, like, what's your...
If I run it in my homebrew world...
You want me to do the throne next?
Yeah. If I do it, like, for my homebrew world, I won't be as, like, weird about it going off the rails a little.
So then just do that, man.
And then but it is more work. But it also, you know, which is fine.
I think do whatever you feel like doing. Like, because it's okay, too, if you want to be, you know, dominantly inspired by Tyranny of Dragons, but also kind of go off the rails a little bit. That's fine.
I mean, I've done it in my homebrew world before.
So then do that. I don't know why people worry about these things.
I'm not worried. I'm asking what people want. Some people
I'm
want
just saying,
like forgettable realms. I mean, Forgotten Realms.
Like, I mean, but like, what's the huge? I guess I've never understood. Like, what's the big difference?
Lore.
Yeah, but like
it's a lot of things.
Isn't it interesting to just like
that's like saying, do you want to play in Tolkien's world, or do you want to play in damn Forgotten Realms where there's like everybody knows magic, whereas Tolkien's world, like, hardly anybody does.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm just saying, like...
It's just different. That's just...
Yeah, but it's not like you're...
It's a lot different.
Yeah, but it's not, though.
If you played in Tolkien...
No, I mean, in that
like
example, but I'm saying, like, if you take, like, Forgotten Realms versus, like, your homebrew setting... I don't know. I guess I feel like it's not that... I don't know.
It's okay.
I guess it never makes a big difference to me. Was that weird?
No. But I also don't think it's a big deal. You made it sound like I think it's a big deal, and I don't.
No, you were just asking.
I just was asking like, what the players want, because some people care about that stuff. For example, Luke is really well versed in Forgotten Realms. He knows, like, the different factions, like, stuff like that. So he knows... Oh, if this is a flaming fist, right? Which now you guys do too, but you understand what they're about. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, oh, who is this secret order that we just came across? You don't know anything because you haven't come across them in a game.
Right,
before.
that's like playing the game,
so
though.
It's different. Yes, but it's different
Does
lore.
That make
it's
it
different...
just more interesting?
What? My homebrew or
like doing something different that you don't know about?
Well, yeah.
Like, is this a stupid thing that I'm, like, not, you know, like...
No, I think you're overthinking it. It wasn't meant to be, like, this philosophical discussion. I'm just explaining now why some people might want one thing or the other. That's all.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, I guess I don't usually, like...
Chance said, also, Perfume of Bewitching is pretty neat.
Ooh, what's that?
Pot of Awakening might be cool for a druid, too.
Ooh, what are those things? Tell us about them, Chance.
Copy and paste into the chat. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever to me. It would be easier to just run it in Forgotten Realms and run it by the book. I'm probably already going to modify it to make it make more sense, because there's just some stuff that's pretty bad in there that we might just bypass or change
Well, you just modify things.
Yeah, but I mean, even with some slight modifications, it still sucks. Like, it's just stupid. It's pointless. It's filler. Like, there's legit, like, sessions worth of stuff in there that's just filler. Like, there's no consequences to if you fail or succeed to certain things.
Yeah, but the players don't know that.
I bet you, like, Roll Stats probably knows because he owns the book also. I've, like, by this time, it's been 5 years. Like, a lot of people understand these things already.
Okay, well, I don't know. Do we think this is thrown as wood? It looks like wood.
I would say wood with fur on the back, yes.
Yeah, see, the thing is, though, is that the grain of the chair versus the texture in the back is all the same. So it all stays the same.
They probably used the same tool when they were sculpting it.
So it all looks the same. So it's all going to be the same.
So then I would just have it be fur over it. Over the arms, too, then. Is it attached? It might just be fur. Yeah, it's fur, then. It's like fur. Yeah, it is.
I don't think so.
You think that weird shape is wood on the back of this?
Well, I don't know, man.
I think it's wood underneath fur. It's probably
okay. Well, there's some wood underneath. I guess maybe.
Yeah, I think it's fur.
Okay, so perfume of bewitching. This tiny vial contains magic perfume, enough for one use. You can use an action to apply the perfume to yourself, and its effect lasts for 1 hour. For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at humanoids of challenge rating 1 or lower. Those subjected to the perfume's effects are not aware that they've been influenced by magic.
Cool. Here, let me read it so you can paint.
Sorry.
It's all right. That's my role. You're painting, I'm laying here. All right. The Pot of Awakening. If you plant an ordinary shrub in this 10-pound clay pot and let it grow for 30 days, the shrub magically transforms into a awakened shrub at the end of that time. When the shrub awakens, its roots break the pot, destroying it. The awakened shrub is friendly toward you. Absent commands from you, it does nothing. I am Groot. I love that. That's cool.
So, do you just have like a shrub now that you can...
It literally does nothing unless you command it to do something.
Yeah, but like what can it do? What are the limitations on the shrub?
Humanoid.
The shrubbery.
It's Baby Groot. It's anything Baby Groot can do.
Bring me a shrubbery.
Yeah. It's Baby Groot. That's awesome. I love it. It's basically a baby tree. That's what it is. Everything is in the realms. I'm okay playing in Thakos. It's not that to hit armor class 0s. With that said, it is easier for you to run in Forgotten Realms. I'm good with that too. Yeah, I might just do that. And then just use some... There's a guide that I downloaded a long time ago for how to make certain adjustments to different modules, and obviously Tyranny of Dragons is one of them. Yeah, it's exactly. It is just a familiar. It's a baby Groot you can command to do stuff. Otherwise, it just stands there like a plant. So it's a more disciplined baby Groot.
So you guys just picture this: a very short, small halfling druid walking along with a 30-pound clay pot and a backpack.
No, 10 pound. It's 10 pounds.
Oh, I thought you said 30 pounds.
No, 30 days to grow this thing.
Oh, okay.
And then its roots bust through the pot and it walks
all
around.
I can just picture is this like little person, like walking around trying to carry this big pot like through dungeons or whatever, or as it's fighting, like it's running with their quarterstaff and their tiny like...
He'd probably pack it real well into his backpack where the shrub just kind of comes out the top of the backpack a little bit. Or strap it somehow to it so it would like just sit on top of his backpack all nice and neat. It'd actually make for a really cool miniature, I think. They don't have one like that though, obviously. Yeah, I treat it like familiar. Wait, how the hell can something be a common wondrous item? Isn't common wondrous an oxymoron?
Yeah, we don't make up the rules like rule stats.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Like that's what the book says.
Wondrous just makes you wonder where it's from.
It's just a wondrous item. Like it's amazing. It has abilities.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
it's just enchanted.
I think it just makes you look at it and wonder, like, wow, this is the coolest thing, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh, clearly that's what it's
I don't know. The clay pot thing is kind of cool. The Pot of Awakening. I think that's awesome. I would love that. Like, no matter what I was. Not even as a druid. Like, it doesn't matter. Then you just need a raccoon playable race. And then the Pot of Awakening. And
these common items are great. Like, I feel like I should start giving some of these out. So
the reason they're common roll stats is because they're not real powerful. So the rarity really has nothing to do with the rarity at all. It has everything to do with how powerful it is. So really, instead of giving them rarities, like, they could have applied rarities to it, but they probably should have applied CRs to them instead. Like, CR to the magic item. Like, here's the recommended level that you should give these players. Or tiers. They should have tiers. Like, tier 1 would be like...
I mean, that's basically what they have done,
They did,
right?
but they do it by rarity. Which rarity... I think his point is if it's a wondrous item, it shouldn't be really common like they have it in every single flower shop in America or in Forgotten Realms.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's his point. I get it. You know?
I mean, like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, see, wondrous means not common by definition. I mean, I get it. I understand what you're coming at, roll stats. But I'm saying they were probably, I don't know. I'm trying to throw a bone here to them. I'm trying to give them a break. Yeah, rarity is basically item level. I agree. It should just be tiers. They should just be like, here's the power level tiers. That's it. Instead of calling it rarity. And then they should have recommended that a tier 1 is common, but not said it is common. Does that make sense? That would have been, I think, better. And that is totally what I'm going to do in my own game system. So I can have wondrous tier 1 items. Like a Pot of Awakening. I'll call it like Pot of the Living. Pot of Life. And it's shaped like a marijuana leaf. I don't know. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I get it. I'm alright with it.
It's fine.
Yup. I think roll stats is the only one that had a problem with it, though. I understand it, though. I get you. I understand where you're coming from, buddy. This throne's going to be sweet.
It looks like a hot mess right now.
Well, yeah, it's just colors right now. Is there a stat max for ability scores? I ended up with a 19 in con. Yeah, 20. There's only a couple exceptions. The exceptions are Barbarian at 20th level. Their con and their strength can go up to 25. Only at 20th level. And if you have a magic item that takes you over 20, such as like a belt of giant strength or a potion of giant strength, other things like that. But yes, 20 is the highest stat in D&D 5e. You can't get anything higher than that. As for modifiers, the highest you can get is if you have expertise in something. And then, once you get your highest proficiency level, which I think is like a +7 at like last few levels. So that's 14 plus your 5. So you're talking about a +19 on your rolls, which is pretty absurd. Considering 30 is supposed to be impossible. There's no difficulty higher than 30 in D&D 5e either, like skill check wise. You can have armor classes over 30 though. It's quiet.
I know. You're not used to quiet, you guys.
It's all good.
Happen in our house very often.
Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about what you said about redoing this room though. And like, what do I ultimately want? And so that's why I'm going to play with the layout a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, one, give us more walking room around the table. Like right now, there's one way to get to the couch, right? And you have to walk through like, that side. Whereas if the table went this way, from this wall out that way and the TV was against this wall, like it'd be a lot easier, I think.
There's no plug over there, is there?
Yeah, there's two here.
Oh, okay.
There's a plug there. There's a plug there. There's a plug there. There's 3 on the long walls.
Plugs everywhere.
Yeah, on the long walls there's 3. On this one there's 2. So plugs are not an issue. And then so once I have that, because I don't think any of this is actually going to take up any more room, to be honest. I actually think it's going to take up the same amount of space. It's just shifting a couple things. And I just feel like it's going to look much bigger when I do that.
So where's
so
the
couch is
going to
go
over there? Okay.
Yep. And the couch, when I measured it, it comes out to just before the end of the TV right there.
Oh, okay. That would look really good.
Yeah, and so then the table's centered in this room pretty much. Maybe a little more towards the couch, but mostly centered. And if you think about it, that's going to give a ton of room behind you on this side. You know what I mean? So now you can get to the bookshelf well. You can get to the hutch really well. Mm-hmm. Things like that.
We could bring that.
I'm actually going to move the hutch further that way too, towards the door more.
Could bring that other carpet in here too, the other rug.
Oh yeah, that's the whole idea. So once I'm moving stuff around, the carpet in here right now is going to move out into the garage for a minute. Mm-hmm. Because I want all the furniture other than the table where it's going to be. And then put the carpets down so that it's all covered. See, I got this idea. I think it'll work out really well. But yeah.
Says the man with the bum hip talking about moving
the table that's 1,000 pounds. Yeah, this table sucked to move. I admit that. It was awful. I have ideas though. I have ideas. If I take well, I'm not gonna worry about it.
You can tell me about it later.
Yep. I got ideas though. Chance says Pathfinder 2e has the best modifier system I think I've ever seen. I do not like the scaling difficulties in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. If something's easy, it should literally just be like a 10 difficulty no matter what. If it's near impossible, it should be a damn 50. And they should just have it in between there rather than, well, if you're level 15, an easy difficulty is this. But if you're level 5, an easy difficulty is this. It should not be like that. Like, if I'm unlocking a door in the tavern that is easy at level 5, and then I come back to the exact same door with the exact same lock 10 levels later, that difficulty should not change.
Yeah, I do agree with you there.
So I'm not going to use that. I'm throwing out the scaling difficulties, and I'm going to figure out what is the absolute highest, what is, considered easy at first level, and that's going to be my range.
So, this throne, just to give you guys a heads up, is going to look like a hot mess for a second.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay.
I think a lot of stuff does when you're just basing it. It's not until you really get into the details that you really start to make it look awesome.
So, it's going to look kind of rough. What are these right here?
They're like extra padding.
Do you think it's padding? Right there? They have That's
for the head. That's for the shoulder blades.
So it's all padded right there?
Yeah, I would even paint it a different color. So, what I was thinking is,
well, you got this red carpet. I'm going to do it purple.
Okay.
I could do, yeah. So
not what I was thinking, but that's okay.
What?
So my original thought on it was the main backing that most of the back is. Like and again, I know you're not going to do this, but I'm just going to tell you what I was thinking. It was like more of a light beige. And then the head pad was going to be something different. And then the shoulder ones are going to be different. And then obviously the back part was just going to be a darker grayish brown fur. That's what I was kind of getting at originally. You can do what you want. I don't care. I'm not telling you what to do. But that's just what I was originally thinking.
I feel like he's telling me what to do, you guys.
No, you do you.
Patting its flesh, the blood.
Yeah, it's basically...
It looks really
is.
bad right now because my red is like super vibrant.
I think it's fine.
And it's also a little shiny. So it looks extra, like it looks wet even though it's not wet. So that's cool.
I envision this mostly as like a Viking throne or maybe even a goblin throne. Obviously it's a little big for a goblin, but I thought doing it like a goblin's throne would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's not what I was going
but
for.
It's all good.
You should have said that.
No, it's cool. There's nothing about it that you've done that changes that.
Well, I was gonna make the seat and everything in the back here. I was gonna do this purple.
You can still do purple. I don't care.
I'm gonna make it darker, but it's gonna look like neon purple at the beginning.
Whatever, do what you want. I don't care.
Okay.
If it looks terrible, we can always paint over it, or we can get more. They're not like
that's true.
It's not that expensive actually. So Zealot Miniatures is out of the UK, I believe, and they make these miniatures, and it's like, I don't. So I'm terrible at knowing currency. I think it's pounds. I think it's like £4.
Euros.
No, it's not Euro. No, it's Great Britain, England. They don't use euros. They're not part of the EU.
Well, I mean, now
I
pounds. Suppose they are not part of the EU.
I think they've always used pounds for the most part.
No.
Are you sure?
They have them, but they also can use...
Again, I don't know what this shit means. I'm completely ignorant. I am as ignorant as it gets when it comes to foreign currencies, foreign a lot of stuff. I just am. Even with history, I'm pretty ignorant. I don't want to be. I'm not arguing with I'm trying to learn. But anyways, it ends up being like £4, which ends up being like just under $5 US for this throne. So it's not like super expensive. And I was already planning on probably getting at least one more anyway, so that you could have like a matching set in the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a king and queen or something, or...
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I was already thinking about eventually getting a second one of these. Which, oh, by the way, update. So the people over there saw my video about my unboxing, and the Adventures pack that has one of the things broken. Lily, go back inside. Okay, go back inside. Go back to bed. But the Adventures pack, one of them was broken. They are going to be sending me a new one. So that was really cool of them. They messaged me on Twitter recently and said they'll take care of that. So I'm really excited about that. A wand of pyrotechnics. So you're basically Jubilee from the X-Men. Okay, cool. He's like, I got my sparkler.
Do you want to go into the...
What?
What do you want to do about
Gabe?
The baby. Yeah.
I'll go check in a second.
Shall I get off here?
No, I mean, we can. It's 9:40. I can go check. I have a feeling she wakes him up, though.
I don't know if she does.
He doesn't wake up most of the nights. And it just happens to be nights we're streaming, and she loves the idea of being up and watching TV. I'm just saying, it's not like... She's 9 years old. These are things that you can think about and scheme really easily. Like, oh, I just happened to walk hard down the stairs. Oh, the baby's up. Like, you know. I'm saying me at 9 years old, I would have done something like that.
Gotcha.
I get to stay up and have snacks and watch TV at 10 o'clock at night. Sign me up.
That's fair. I get that.
European currency is super strange. Most people in the UK use pounds. Some places can take euros, but they almost always rip you off Thinking more of using to distract foes. But yeah, sure, why not? So, yeah, like, now I don't know if they still do Euros now that they're not part of the European Union or whatever, the EU. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I mean it's sort of like I think it would be more like the equivalent of like
Us using Canadian currency?
yeah.
Which we don't. And they don't use American currency.
But like
No, you exchange it like as soon as you cross the border.
okay, go check on the baby.
The baby's fine.
I don't have anything to talk about though, you guys. Ugh.
Why don't you go check on the baby? And if the baby's up, let her get up with him.
Yeah, but then if she woke him up, isn't that just rewarding the behavior?
Yeah.
Great, cool, thanks.
I mean, so what else would we do, though? You don't have to, I guess. You can just lay him back down. So, roll stats. Thinking more of using it to distract foes, but yeah, sure, why not? I think that's fine. I forgot what you're playing, roll stats. What are you playing again? A sorcerer? You could just take something like Dancing Lights to distract foes. Something like that. But yeah, I think that's cool. I think you can totally do that. I think a wand of pyrotechnics would be cool. It's kind of like Gandalf with the fireworks, minus the giant dragon one in the movie. Like here, I use it to entertain the halfling children. I use it to entertain the kobolds, so that they don't attack me. Last I heard, some businesses can still take euros. They just shaft you on the exchange rate. Same thing happens in Canada when we take American currency. Yeah, I get that. So it's funny you say that, because party stores over here, like liquor stores, package stores, wherever you're at, they call them something different, and they function a little differently. But party stores here will cash paychecks, and they do the same thing, kind of. Like, you can cash your paycheck, and they'll just charge you, like, 5 to 10% to cash your paycheck, depending on how shady they are. And so then they make money. They're like, oh, yeah, you want to cash your check? All right, sign it here, and, yep, okay, cool. Here you go. Of your $200 paycheck, you get 180 back or 190 back, And I don't know if that's because they get charged to do that. I have no idea. My dad used to do that for me when he had a pizza store. He would actually cash my paycheck for me. Except he would round it off to a clean number so he didn't have to give me change. And I think I got screwed a few times there. But yeah. I don't know. I worked for my dad when he owned a franchise when I was like 12. And I did that until I was like 16. So. But yeah, and gosh. So obviously I live in Michigan. I've been up to Canada countless times. I had a friend who his parents had one cottage on Rice Lake and two up on the hill, like just overseeing it in near, what is it, Peterborough, I think is the name of it. Peterborough. I don't know. We were in high school, so we used to call it pea in a barrel, because we were immature. But we used to have a lot of fun out there. I don't think they have those cottages. I think they sold them. It was like really nice modular homes on top of a hill. There were two of them up there. And what was cool is his parents would stay in one, and then me and my friend and then another one of our friends would stay in the other one, either up top. Like the first time we ever went, we stayed up top. Every other time after that, we chose to stay in the really tiny, like, mobile home on the water. Like a little 2-bedroom, tiny mobile home. Right on the water. It was cool. It was so much fun. Always had good times out there. I remember there were a couple girls who used to, they were in one of the little mobile homes down there, and because it's just cottages, like it's shut down in the wintertime. I don't think you can stay there in the winter, But they would go down there, and they were actually from Ukraine. Like, they lived in Toronto, but they were originally from the Ukraine. And, yeah, we used to, like, oh my gosh, my friend was obsessed. Obsessed with them. It was ridiculous. And they didn't like him like that. It was funny. Gosh, we're talking about, like, 18 years ago, though. They used to fish, too. I never fished there. Ooh, speaking of which, are there any RPGs with good fishing mechanics? Like, there's some video games with some pretty good fishing, in them. Like, the Final Fantasy 15 or whatever. That had decent fishing, I think. It wasn't, like, too hard, but it wasn't too easy. Or, like, the old Legend of Zelda game had some fishing in it. That was interesting, I think. We need good fishing mechanics for an RPG.
Ooh.
I'm talking to myself. Like, nobody's spurring this conversation on.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not something I'd super get into, but, like, yeah, you could do it.
It would be perfect, though. Like, other than just, I make a survival check. Oh, I caught a fish.
I mean, it's awfully specific, but, like, I don't know. I could dig it, I guess.
Poor guy. That was my friend Brian for you. We were talking about Canada.
Oh, okay.
How I used to go to Canada with Brian.
So, quick update.
Uh-oh.
The baby is completely passed out. Nobody's making any noise in there.
See?
It is dead quiet, but there's the light on upstairs in Lily's room.
Yeah. I told you. Am I right or not?
I'll ask her about it tomorrow. We had a little talk tonight.
About going to bed early and she's still up at 10 o'clock?
No, other stuff. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it in 20 minutes when we end this. You think you'll get all the base coating done tonight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm almost done.
I should have had you grab the super glue while you were in there. Because I have no idea where it is. You're the one that knows.
I am the keeper of the glue, you guys.
Yep, she's the glue keeper.
I am. I actually have an entire 12 by 12 bin of just glue. Different types of glue. Because apparently glue vendors like to come into my work and they always give you 87 different types of glue samples.
That's what we need, though.
But like the cool like paint people come in, I don't get any paint samples.
Nope.
WTF.
Every fishing mechanic I've ever seen is D100. Yeah, but see, I don't want a single roll. I think that's silly. There's so many aspects to fishing.
How intense do you want it to get?
So,
like,
so
there
one
are
of the things I
aspects to,
mentioned,
like,
hang on. So one of the things
life.
I mentioned was, one of the things I mentioned was, you have, and this could be a supplement all on its own. Like, it could be a 10-page supplement on its own, I think. But, like, video games, some video games, like role-playing games, have very good fishing, like, sub-games in them. Games like Zelda, Ocarina of Time, had decent, from what I remember, it was decent. That one was probably real basic, but it was so long ago that I played it. Or the Final Fantasy 15 game, you had to actually buy lure and bait for the type of fish you wanted to catch. And then the fish you would catch, you could then turn into like certain food, which then gives you different benefits in the game. Like, they went way over the top with the type of food you can get and the different benefits, by the way. Like, there's like 100 different dishes you can make, and you have to get the ingredients to make them. And then you have to learn how to make them before you do it, kind of thing. Anyways. Bonus die if you are drinking, or is it prerequisite? What?
I don't know. But Chance sounds all in on your fishing idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I might have to work something out with that. Bonus die if you are drinking, or is it a prerequisite? I don't understand what you're asking, BN Drake.
Like, do you get a bonus die when you're fishing if you've been drinking?
Oh. Gotcha. Sorry, I'm not a big drinker, so it just was over my head. And I'm not a fisher either.
I love how you're like, I want a fishing aspect to this game.
Okay.
But you're like, I don't even like fishing.
No,
Did you go fishing as a kid? You went fishing as a kid.
Yes. My aunt used to take me. My grandma actually used to take me too.
I meant to ask my dad if for some reason, because I feel like he would do something like this where he would keep like old
fishing poles.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him.
I thought I've seen fishing poles in their garage before.
Yeah, because.
But I don't think he can go fishing. I don't think he can hold a fishing pole anymore.
I don't know if he can, but he might let us borrow him. Caleb really wants to go.
Yeah, but I would want to get him one of the like smaller.
Yeah, but we could get him a kid's one, and then we go too or whatever.
I would just focus on his.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I think I always used an adult fishing pole.
Did you?
Yeah, even when I was little.
The problem is Caleb. No, because remember we talked about this. I can't even get Caleb to try and throw a ball right without him like getting crazy. And I can just imagine him trying to cast a line and snagging me in the eyeball with the damn hook. And me being furious and throwing him across the ground. Because I got a hook stuck in my eye. Like...
No, but it might teach him, like, to be a little more... like, disciplined and patient. He's got to wait for the fish. You gotta, like...
So the only reason I was thinking of fishing, it was because I was talking about Canada, and that's what the other two guys I went up there with did, and I didn't. I just usually hung out. But I just feel like it would make RPGs a little more interesting when you're talking about, like, rather than, I'm going to camp now and eat my rations. Like, I don't know. It just seems
at least
like it would make
for
it
people
a little
who
more
like more of, like, the roleplay aspect in their games.
Yeah, like, hey, you find a pond. That, there you go. Oh, okay, cool. Can I fish in it? Yup. Like, I don't know. I feel like that would be cool. I mean, you have hunter's traps for catching other things. Why wouldn't you?
I know. Nobody ever, like...
Does anything with that?
Does anything with that stuff, though. Like, if you do it, it's always like, creative improv because you were trying to, do something else or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You should take him crabbing. All you'd need is some string and some chicken legs.
Dude, like...
Yeah, I've actually watched crabbing out on the West Coast off of, like, Oregon
Michigan,
and stuff.
though.
Yeah, there's no crabbing in Michigan. You can catch crayfish in the, like, rivers and stuff. Probably,
Can you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when we were little, we used to catch them. They look like, they're, like, this big... And they look like little lobsters or little
they're
crawdads.
shrimp.
Yeah.
They're sort of like shrimp.
Yeah, they're like fresh
or
water.
what? Little what?
Like crawdaddies. You never heard of that?
The fuck is that?
They eat it in like New Orleans. Are you for real?
Like is that just like a southern term for shrimp?
Probably. Or for, crayfish. Are
Crawfish?
you for real? Yeah.
You just said crayfish.
I think that's what we always called them when I was little.
It's crawfish.
I think
What's wrong with you? What's
I don't know.
wrong
I grew
with
up in
you?
the ghetto, and
so
we used to catch like turtles and frogs.
Have you guys heard of this stuff?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, but I mean.
And like crayfish.
Dude, a cricket jumped into the garage as I was pulling the hose in, and I closed the garage. And Caleb came running into the house and then into the garage so he could run after the cricket. Yeah. Like, he was stoked.
Yeah, I'm sure. They're noisy
like, our kids are like, I don't know.
When you go crabbing, you have to have cages, though.
Yeah, you also...
You usually dangle the meat in the middle of it, and then it has, like, openings on the side, and then you have to lift it really quick and hopefully catch the crabs that were in there trying to eat the meat.
Yeah, and then some people go off of, like, docks, but a lot of other people
Yeah, we were watching it with the kids the other day, because Gabe was obsessed with crabs one day.
Yeah.
He thought they were spiders. So
yeah, he really likes bugs, except for that ant that got stuck to him.
He does not like bugs.
I hope it doesn't give him, like, some sort of disease or something.
He screams when he sees bugs, and he's fixated on it until you get rid of the bugs.
Yeah, he is the most particular child.
Yes.
In the world.
Yeah, he's way more.
Like,
than the
we're
other two.
reading a book, and he points at the shutters on the window, and he's like, close it. Close it.
Yeah.
Like, at the book. I'm like, it's just a picture.
Yeah, you can't close it, dude.
You can't.
And then he gets all mad.
Anyway. Okay, so we're getting off topic.
No, I think it would be cool to make some kind of D&D supplement up for fishing and stuff. You could even add things like crabbing or lobsters, or because I think they do the same thing with lobsters, don't they? It's a net though. They use some kind of lure, and then they have a net, and then they pull the net.
It's
up,
like
right?
a circle. I think it's like a circular cage with netting around it. Like, it has some stability, but it's not like a lobster is like, like a big squirrel cage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like I've watched a ton of stuff like that when people do like lobster and stuff.
Like, I think the crabs and stuff are more like, think a small
boat.
version of like a laundry hamper. Like those
No, they're
laundry
like,
hampers that twist
they're
down.
rectangle cages.
But that's for lobsters.
That's crabs.
I think the crabs.
We just watched it, like, not even a week ago.
Guys, I don't know. We're talking about crabs. Who cares? Okay.
We just need to make the supplement. It'll be great. I bet you it would do awesome. I bet you there's something out there that has stuff like that in it, but it's not strictly dedicated to that. And I think you would have to do a series of checks to pull it off. It's how you'd have to set it up.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, I would probably
Do you think that people would, like, use it?
I think they would, yeah. I mean, I don't think a ton of people would, but I think a lot of people would use it to get inspiration to apply to something else in their games. Like, maybe not actually fishing, maybe for, luring some kind of other creatures out, or, whatever. I don't know. I bet you people would use it if it was well done. Heck, Chance said he would support the Kickstarter.
You got one backer.
So there we go. We need to make it into a physical book, and the book is in the shape of a fish. A Jesus fish.
We're not doing a Jesus fish.
Why?
There's 0 chances.
Why? Chance, would you buy it if it was in the shape of a Jesus fish?
My friend at work.
Yeah.
Her husband does like the video stuff and like whatever. He does mostly lighting.
Me.
So he's
also into board games.
Yeah, and he's a professor.
They also have a 3D printer.
His movie, the last movie that he finished.
The 1 minute commercial thing?
No. Like an actual, like a real movie.
Okay.
That's like a couple hours long.
Okay.
That he finished 2 years ago or something like that, and they went to like some film festival in the South last year for.
Uh-huh.
Is coming out on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's not that impressive though.
I think that's kind of cool. Like,
I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, like, I don't know if it's that hard to do.
I mean, I think so. To be
so?
like a independent film, like part writer, and he's a lighting guy, and he's the editor.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, I don't know how it's set up, but for example, like, I could print a physical book and call myself a published author, right? I don't know how easy it is to get your movie on Amazon.
I
do
know.
On Netflix there's some pretty shitty movies out there that people have done, and it's like, how did this ever end up on Netflix? Like, there's no way in hell Netflix sought them out and was like, hey, we want to buy the rights to put your movie on. I feel like it's probably easier on Amazon.
I watched the trailer, and like it looks interesting. Like, so now I kind of want to watch it, but like I don't really know what it's about.
So, is there going to be a session 0? So yes,
there should be.
But
right?
I'm going to probably do it at the same time we do the start of the campaign.
So kind of like how I did
Since
with
we've already
Black Rock.
creative characters.
Yeah.
Like if we were gonna do
Well, we
a
can still
real...
roll to you guys meeting how you guys know each other.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
We'll do
That's
that.
a must.
We'll do that there.
Have you guys ever used that? It's
Yes.
like a Pathfinder
Well, there's
first
D&D ones now,
edition
too,
table or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we use the Pathfinder version from like the first
Yeah.
edition.
Second edition has it in there too.
And it just like we roll for everybody in the order in which they're like next to each other or whatever, and it's just how they're associated with the person
Mm-hmm.
next to them. So you kind of have like an auto like, hey, this is how we meet or we met.
We're drinking buddies. We're hunting
and-
buddies. We're in love with the same person.
Yeah, it gives you like
Yeah,
a
whatever.
little bit of like, oh, this is my base
We're distant
relationship with this person or
Right.
whatever. You know, I don't know.
Childhood best friends.
I think it's really helpful in
It forces you to be connected.
yes, and
it
have
forces
like
roleplay.
yeah, it forces you or it allows you like good opportunity right off
Yeah.
the bat. Like you don't have to be like, oh, I know nothing about you.
Right.
You know, you can kind of like improv
So,
a lot of
yeah.
that stuff.
So, yes, we will do a session 0. It'll be the first time we actually play as well. So, what I'll do is just like in my Black Rock game, we got together to do a session 0. I think we actually created characters in that one. But what we'll do is we'll discuss any topics that people aren't comfortable with, torture, whatever. Romance, violence, whatever, kind of comes up. If there's any phobias or anything off limits, then we'll literally just start playing. And it's the way Tyranny of Dragons starts is it's really easy to jump into, so it shouldn't be a problem. And you won't finish the first part of Tyranny of Dragons anyway in the first session, no matter how we did it. Like if we just ran it, or if we again do a session 0 and then go into it. So, yeah. In fact, it'll probably take a few sessions before we finish the first real scene or scenes of Tyranny of Dragons.
Oh, really? It'll probably
Yeah.
take us even longer.
Yeah, I mean, if we're playing 3 hours, I would assume it'll take probably 3 sessions. 2 to 3 sessions to finish. Because it's multiple things. It's like lots of encounters, no rest, and it's like boom, 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 boom.
Should we have backup characters?
No, I leveled you up. You're
Oh,
3
okay.
instead of 1. If you were 1, yes.
Okay.
But probably not then either. Just make new characters while... It takes 3 minutes and beyond.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
you don't need
like,
backups.
do you want us to have, like, are we
I
gonna,
don't
because
care.
if you're gonna need multiple, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I should
No,
probably just bring
You're
some.
fine. You'll all be fine. And you're going to have an extra player, too. I think I'm going with 5 players, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to use... I'm going to try and use my own miniatures on flip mats. And you're not going to see me on camera, I think. I think I'm just going to have the camera showing the miniatures. So, basically, I'm a narrator more than anything. Is how I'm envisioning it. And then I'll have when we're not in combat or using miniatures, I'll probably just have an overlay that doesn't show me as well.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, because I think it'll be nicer to have an overlay that really features like Tiamat or something more to the tone of the adventure path. the
Gotcha.
module. I just think it'll look better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that does make sense.
It'll be fun though. There's a lot of people.
Well, I don't know a lot about. I don't know.
I've told you so much
ton
about it over
about
the years,
it, though.
You do. I've told you everything about it over the years. You just don't remember.
I mean, that's probably a valid complaint. After I said nobody's lighting off fireworks, what happens?
They've been
are
doing
lighting
it
off
last few
fireworks.
nights. Like it seems like it's
Oh.
been going on for a week.
Really? Do
probably-
I just not notice?
Probably.
Well, you probably just can't hear it in the living room.
You can't hear it over the TV in the living room. It's not annoying. Because again, it's not happening in town. It's clearly happening like a mile that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like in the country. Probably over by like Tim Hortons or something. Push comes to shove, just wild shape into a whatever he just called it. You read that word.
Hongarask?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Do you know a specific day yet? Start time. So, I do, kind of. We're not playing until August. My July is full. I think the earliest I could do is the 25th. For some reason, I have Pathfinder campaign down for the 25th, but we're not doing a Pathfinder campaign right now. I think that's what we were talking about doing.
We were talking about doing it, and we weren't.
But
So we were
the
gonna
Dead Aussie
do
Gamer
this
can't
one
play.
in place of it.
Right. I think is the idea. And so that would be the last Saturday of July. Or we can do the second Saturday of August. So I have some availability, I suppose. Not a ton.
Oh, so last Saturday in July?
Yeah, it's the 25th.
Okay, or the second weekend of August.
Second Saturday, which
Second
is the 8th.
Saturday. Oh, that's just like in a couple weeks, though.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. It's
like
not
3
even
weeks,
the 4th of July
right?
yet. So
well, I know, but it's
you're
just
talking about like 20 days away, 25 days away. That's not really a couple weeks. That's like almost 4 weeks.
It's a CR0 beast with 52 hit points.
So one of the rules of Wild Shape is your character has to be like familiar with the animal though. Like you have to know what the animal is.
Dude, I need some information about the animal. And
But
I will
player
take
knowledge is
care
not the
of
same
it.
as character knowledge.
I will take care of it.
We'll see. I'll look it up too. It's a beast, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
This looks like a mess. So.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't added any brown shades, any dry brushing, any highlights.
I know.
I mean, it's looking like it should look at this point.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm not sure about the padding of blue and purple. It's very vibrant. I mean, now it's dark, but it was very vibrant.
I know. It's going to be fine.
I think it'll look fine when it's done. It's just when you first put it on, I was like, ooh, I don't know. Sounds good. I need to keep track of all these games I'm in. Yeah, don't worry. I will.
If you need some help, you're willing to. You can borrow my secretary, over here, who keeps track of the games that I'm playing in, and when I'm playing in games.
I'm not perfect. I
you...
forgot like interviews with people before. I forgot a couple other things in recent times that I'm like, oh shoot.
Okay.
Like I had someone scheduled for a Sunday night interview because we were going to record it and I forgot. And I showed up like an hour late and they were like, oh, it's okay. I was doing something. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so we still did it and recorded it. And it's up on my channel and you would never know. But yeah, I felt so bad. Yeah, I felt really bad. So I've had some mistakes. I need to use a Google Calendar more is what it comes down to. I like writing it down because I like to see my calendar. So I actually am like, oh, I have this coming up then and that. But it's not as useful. If you don't look at it every day, it's not as useful to keep you on track.
Yeah, you need to.
I just need to look at it every day.
You need to look at it every morning.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like work, you know. Like I sit down at my desk. I would say I get to work, but right now that's at home. I love the Outlook calendar. So
prioritizing tasks on it.
Yeah, I just sit down at my desk and I first go and check my calendar, and it's like, what am I doing today? How many meetings am I in? Typically, the answer, the average would be 4 to 5.
Right.
Seems like a lot. Too many meetings. Anyway, but that's what you just gotta do.
Yeah. No, I used to do that. When I worked in the office, I used to go in Outlook, and you can have like your prioritized task list or whatever the heck it is. It would have like your list of meetings that day and all that good stuff in Outlook. Loved that. I used to do it every morning. I would print it out. It would have all my meetings,
all my to-do list, everything. And then it had a section for notes, which was great. And you just print it off from Outlook. And I would use that to keep track and keep myself doing what I needed to that day. But now I work from home doing YouTube and stuff. And so I don't do the same thing. I don't use Outlook, and I don't have a printer, you know.
Don't you have Outlook on your computer, though?
I'm sure. Yeah, through Word and stuff, probably. But either way, I'm not in front of my computer all the time because my computer's usually out here.
You can put it on your phone.
No. You won't even put Discord on your phone.
You don't have space.
I don't have a lot of space either, though.
Time for a new phone.
It is time for new phones. Then I can get us those miniatures with our face scans on them. The whole family face scans. That would be awesome. Cool. Yeah, you have it written down in your calendar. I'll confirm a specific date in the next few days. I'm currently trying to set up interviews because after next week, I'm out of RPG Talk guests. Because I scheduled that out like 2 months straight when I first did it. Like, it was a little overwhelming. And then I was like, oh, I just need to like see the light at the end of the tunnel. And now that I see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm like, crap, I got to get some guests lined up.
Like, oh shoot, I forgot about that thing that I was doing.
Well, I also feel kind of weird sometimes asking people like, hey, do you want to come on to like this show? Like, where we just talk about RPGs. And they're like, oh yeah, what do you want me to prepare? Nothing. Like, just let's have a talk. Like, let's have a conversation about like whatever you're working on. And as you're telling me stuff, I'll think of my next questions. Based on what you said.
Is that not what other people do?
On their channels and stuff?
Yeah, I don't
know.
I
have no idea. I just, like, almost every other guest has said, yeah, so what should I prepare? Nothing. Like, just come talk to me. Like, that's all I want.
Well, I think they want to know, like, is there an agenda?
There is no agenda. Nope, I never have an agenda.
Introduction, like, let's chat about,
that's what I do.
You know, this topic.
So,
you know, so sometimes they like to know, you know, are there like certain, like, if they're a writer, are there certain things that they've written about that you'd like to talk about, you know, so maybe you have like, oh, what are you currently working on?
Right.
Oh, what's the thing that everybody might know you for? Oh, you know, like you kind of
go
through those.
So one of my favorite interviewers, he's a wrestling interviewer. He works in the entertainment industry. He's worked for news stations.
So you need to put together little agendas for them, is what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's not going to happen. But I'll make a frequently asked questions thing, I think. Like a little graphic I can send to them when they ask. I'll send it up front from now on. Yeah, Seth would be great. His YouTube channel's huge, though. So it's not a win-win situation for him. It'd be a win situation for me. For him, it would be charity, is what I'm getting at. I think he won the Emmy last year for Best YouTube Channel. Or Best RPG YouTube Content Creator or something like that. He's very entertaining. I like his skits and stuff, and he's a nice guy. So my favorite interviewer, he right now is a wrestling interviewer. His name's Chris Van Vliet. He's a Canadian who now lives in America. He's worked for entertainment sites and things like that, and news, the actual news and stuff. And he's interviewed like huge stars like The Rock and movie stars and all these people. And someone asked him once, they're like, do you like prepare your questions? He's like, no, I just turn the camera on and ask what's on my mind, and that's it. And I was like, that's why it comes across as so authentic. And he's a good guy. He doesn't like try to have a got you question. Even if there's like drama, like in wrestling, there's a lot of dramas, you know. He doesn't like push it, or, you know, if it naturally comes up, it comes up, but he's never like trying to get the juicy stuff out of them. He treats them like they're friends and just has a conversation. And that's what I do. You know, I take a lot of my influence from him when it comes to that. And it's more fun. I feel like I've made a lot of friends because of it. So I just like it that way.
I could never do that.
What, just go into it and wing it?
Like, I can't just, like, wing it. Yeah, that's why sometimes when you're like, I'm gonna get up and go and do this thing, and I'm like, I don't know what to talk about because I don't ever know what to talk about.
You don't need to know
like,
what
I'm
to talk about.
Yeah, but I'm so bad at small talk.
It's not small talk.
It is.
I mean, it kind of
like,
is, but
it is. Like, okay, you know.
So how do you carry conversations on with people that you just are friends with? Think about that.
I mean, like,
you literally just start talking about what you know they're into. And if you learn something new in that conversation, you ask them about those things. And conversation progresses. Right? Like, the whole conversation doesn't have to be about this game you just made. Like, it can start that way. But then if I find out, oh, you also did this other game, I can ask you what went into that. Oh, okay. How long did you work on that for?
I'm an awkward person.
I know, awkwardly nerdy. Go buy that merch. The hottest merch in the game. I gotta add that store to the pinned post. That's what I was gonna do. I couldn't remember. I was like, why was I on the actual store earlier? The whole reason was because it was not in the description of this video. So let's add it to the description. And then we'll add it to the pinned post. Put it right here. Boom. Ooh, no. I don't know. Is that weird? I feel like it's really easy to do. There are times when you just don't have chemistry with the guest. And it's clunky and awkward and you're not feeling it and you don't think they're feeling it. Those are bad interviews. But those are not very common. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sort of an awkward person. So?
Yeah, but you conduct meetings all the time. Like, you've never winged a meeting?
I mean, no, usually I send out a detailed agenda. This is the point that we're going to talk about or whatever. And, like, I get there and, like, I try and make small talk if, like, people aren't there yet or whatever. But sometimes I suck at that. So then I'll just sit there, can be quiet. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll do what, I'll just...
Sure. So Chance says, I think all of your interviews have been pretty great. Thanks. Do you have a favorite? So I don't discriminate against who I bring on. Like, if they are a big, like, I've had Luis Loza from Paizo. I've had, like the guy I had the other day, Jay from Feral Gamers Inc. I had no idea about a lot of his stuff literally until I did that interview. I mean, I knew of Ghost Ops. I had saw his stuff on Con Plus, which I was in the chat for almost the full 24 hours this year, with Becky Rose and Jason Green from Pair of Geeks. And so that was my introduction to who he was. And Ghost Ops, they were talking about. They had an interview with him on their channel from Con Plus 2. And I remember going, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Like Rainbow Six RPG where, obviously you're a squad of like special ops. And there's different countries that you can be their special ops force. But it's a perfect, like he said in my interview, it's a perfect RPG party. Because when you're in a group like that, 4 or 5 guys in a squad, you have different roles, and it's working as a team, and each person has to do their role well for the team to succeed, It's like, yeah, he was right, So anyways, I was really interested in that, but I had no idea he had worked on, like, other, like, fantasy RPGs and all that stuff. I thought he was strictly, like, a military RPG kind of guy. So, but he has all sorts of stuff. He has, like, one setting that, like, is, like, you're shipwrecked on an island, and it's a fantasy RPG.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. He's making another one that's going to be a space version where you crash on a planet. So it's a little more high tech. It's a lot bigger because you're on a planet. Like, that one sounds cool. That one's not out yet. But anyways, so yeah, I go into these completely blind, and I feel like if you know everything going in, and I've done this before, I've gone into talking to people where I already knew everything, or we had the conversation a week in advance preparing for the conversation, and it leaves nothing to be discussed because you already know it. It's less interesting. It's more flat.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, that seems like it, you know.
Yeah, so I don't want to know everything about these people going into it. Now, if I'm a fan, it's easy because I can talk to them all day too. But like, if I don't know who they are and I do all this homework ahead of time, it's too difficult. It's not entertaining and it's not fun. So, you know, it's just one of those things. What's so funny over there? You're laughing about something.
It was just like a comment a friend sent me.
Oh, okay.
It was initially about our kids being kind of weird. And then I said, well, they are mine, so... And she said, own it.
Lily is very awkward sometimes. I have a feeling Lily is you.
Yeah, Lily is going to be me.
Caleb is like me on speed.
He's got so much
I was not like that as a kid.
energy.
That's
like,
what's weird.
You know what, though? Like, honestly, both of those kids have a massive amount of energy. Like, there aren't a ton of kids that usually keep up with our kids, except now some of the, like, a couple of the neighborhood kids here. Like, now that we're, like, out in the country, where people, I don't, you know.
No, our kids have, like,
country. Our kids
are not in good shape. Like, I mean, obviously they're skinny, like, and they have a lot of energy. But, like, I would say the last 2 years, we didn't, like, get our kids out and get them running around. Like, run, burn some energy. We didn't do that. But even though we didn't do that, like, you can tell Caleb will be winded, like, sucking air, and he'll still keep running around and jumping off of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can tell he's not in shape, like, but at the same time, he pushes himself to keep, like, running like crazy.
Like, they can just still keep going when other kids have already given up and fallen behind.
Yes. Oh, BN Drake, okay, perfect. So one of my strengths and my weaknesses as a DM is that right there.
What?
He said, kind of like when you DM, allow yourself to be surprised. So I either over prep and I bomb miserably because I force stuff that was not naturally happening, or I completely under prep and, like, am not prepared, which when I'm not running a module, I can roll with it a lot easier. When I'm running a module, that freaks me out and I'm not comfortable. I'm just starting to get comfortable running modules with that. Like, just starting to, I think. But yeah, and that's how I like to run. I like to run not over prepped. I like to leave holes so that I'm excited and interested in what happens.
I don't see why you have to be so worried about what
with
happens
modules?
In the module.
Because I don't know how certain things in the future of the module are impacted by if I give you something,
so whatever,
information,
you just change
stuff
it
like
in the
that.
future if you need to.
I understand that, but then are you actually playing the module?
Like,
you're playing a weird, something else.
The story is basically the same.
Not if you bomb it, not if you screw it up.
You're not gonna, like, screw it up.
Oh, there's people who have. Like, I've heard stories of people like, yeah, I gave them this thing that I remember reading in the module. Oh, but they weren't supposed to get it till, like, later in it. Like, I've heard of that. I've heard of people, like, getting past something that was supposed to be really difficult with the key when that was, like, a really pivotal moment. You know. Which, by the way, I watched a video about the Tomb of Horrors. 2 videos, actually. And that thing is a nightmare.
Can you go back to the other screen?
It's still there.
Thank you.
Yeah, that thing is a nightmare. Have you... I mean, that's... Tomb of Annihilation has the Tomb of Horrors in it, I guess. It's Asarak's dungeon.
Yeah.
But, like, the old version of it, oh my gosh. It is impossible. Like, it is absolutely impossible to get through it without dying. unless you have a cheat sheet and know what's coming.
Well, I guess we're...
I'm tempted after watching these 2 videos to run it. Like, I really want to run it on the smartest people I know and see if they can figure stuff out. And see how annoying and frustrating it is for them.
Just because it was like...
I would love to run that for Erica and Andy. 100%. They would hate it. They would absolutely hate it.
The dude's place in Tomb of Annihilation?
Yeah, they would hate the Tomb of Horrors.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. I don't think the Tomb of Annihilation one is the same.
Oh, okay.
But the old school Gary Gygax one from the 80s, whoo. And so the first video was him talking about how he had ran it for his group. And like, it's funny, they didn't make it through. They made it through maybe like 60% of it before finally the players were like, oh, we died. Okay. This is the stupidest shit ever. It's not fun. It's made to be annoying. There's nothing entertaining about this. This was literally Gary Gygax's big F you to his players. That's what they said. They all agreed. So then he finished talking about it, of what it actually was. And then in the second video, he's like, this is what I would do with it to make it a little less annoying. It's still a big F you to your players, but this one you might have a chance to figure out. It's still awful. But it's, you know. I actually downloaded it too because I was like,
Did you?
Oh yeah, I would.
So let's play it.
You will hate it. You won't
Let's
like
play
it.
it.
It's not like the puzzles make sense.
Oh, okay.
Like the puzzles, even if you understand it, like they don't make sense. Again, I think anyone who's ever played it will probably agree.
Okay. I guess I have a lot of questions.
What is your first question? I will answer it.
Like, I just want to know, like, what's an example?
Oh, there's an example of a thing that is literally, like, there's no way to know of it, but basically you have to peel, like, a sticker off a wall to reveal a door.
What do you mean there's no way to know?
Like, there's no way to tell it's a sticker on the wall, really. Unless you arbitrarily go, oh, this one thing in this one spot, yeah, let's just peel that off.
I mean,
like, it's very specific. It's like playing a game with your brother and being like, I want to check for a secret door. Okay, where are you looking? This corner. Oh, nope. It was like a foot away from the corner. Like, that's what it kind of would be like. You know what I mean? It's rough. Trust me. I'll let you watch the video. You'll be like, yeah, that's annoying. I would be pissed. Even the clues are good, except for the fact that they still lead you to die. So, like for example, there's a spot that tells you to avoid something. And if you avoid it, you have to avoid it all except for, like, 2 times. And the 2 times you don't avoid it, you die. Like, or that you do avoid it, you die because you avoided it.
Gotcha.
Doesn't that sound stupid?
Yeah.
That'd be like me saying, go to the bedroom without turning on any of the light switches. Or by turning on all the light switches. And then you get to, like, the 4th one and you turn the light switch on and then it's like, oh shit, I just electrocuted myself to death. Like, that's what it would be like.
Okay.
That's Tomb of Horrors.
Alright then.
That's Tomb of Horrors. And it's got, like, it's even got a spot where you're supposed to tell your players that they've completed it, yet they're not even halfway through. Like, as you come out of, like, meta, like, and you're like, all right, guys, so what do you think of the dungeon? Like, it tells you to do that. Like, player to DM talk. Like, so what do you think of the dungeon? Oh, okay, cool. Well, you're not done. Like, yeah, isn't that some bullshit? That's the big F you to your players.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I would agree now. Now I'm starting to agree.
Yeah. After already being messed up and then having to redo some of the same stuff over and over and over again because you didn't get the first time, and oh yeah, it makes you redo everything again.
So we should wrap this up.
Lots of teleporting and stuff.
We should wrap this up.
All right, yeah, we're cool. All right, guys. So Paula is done for the night. Show him the throne. I mean, give us a good look at it.
This is what the throne looks like right now.
You know what I noticed? It's because we don't have a light.
Yeah.
That light's not doing a good enough job.
You gotta angle it.
I mean, it is angled, but it's got stuff in the way. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, anyway.
It looks decent.
It's looking pretty. It's looking okay. It'll look good when it's done.
Yeah, I think so. So we're going to end there. Go inside, cool off with the air conditioning because it's a little hot and sticky and humid in here.
It's a little humid in here for me, but I'm actually comfortable.
Are you? Oh, I'm warm. So
yeah, I was freezing inside. I decided to leave the air on so that when we go inside, it can be turned off because I will be free. I was freezing in there.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
That's
a no. There was hesitation. I'm like starving.
Anyway.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I will post pictures of this, and we need to get some super glue and glue that table together so that I can post it for my patrons first. Maybe I'll make the Discord wait till morning. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. So patrons would get to see it tonight, and then everyone else gets to see it tomorrow on the Discord. And then maybe tomorrow afternoon on Instagram.
That means we have to figure out how to get it assembled tonight.
It's not hard. I can assemble it. I just need the glue.
Okay.
And then it should be easy. So thanks, guys. Love the support again. You guys have been awesome. And if there's anything you want to see on the channel, if you want to see us live stream anything other than mini painting or any of that, feel free to let us know. So with that, guys, Master of the Game, Juice. This is Paula, Awkwardly Nerdy. Game on.